All it takes is one, yes, one distraction for you to ruin your shot at successfully doing a dopamine detox. Look, if you clicked on this video, there's part of you that wants to do a dopamine detox. There's part of you that wants to be better. But unfortunately, wanting to be better, let's be real, it's just always not enough. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to successfully go all the way through your dopamine detox and get the most out of your journey. Now, y'all know I ain't no Xbox. I don't like play no games, so we gonna jump right in. In case you have never heard of dopamine detox, here it is in one sentence. It's you resensitizing your overstimulated brain by abstaining from any artificial dopamine sources.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Now, I have other videos on my channel covering everything about that, so today I'm not gonna dive too deep into it, but that's what it is in a nutshell. But anyway, moving on. The first thing you need to do is identify your biggest distraction. So what you need to do is you need to write down some rules. You need to write down some rules of the things you can and can't do. Some examples of things you can do will be like, I'm allowed to go work out. I'm allowed to go out with my friends if I don't do any drinking. I'm allowed to do this. I'm allowed to do that. You need to write out the things that you can do on your dopamine fast or dopamine detox. And the next step is you need to write down your can'ts. You need to write down the things that you can't do. Things like, I'm not gonna watch porn, I'm not gonna watch TV, I'm not gonna listen to music. Whatever your rules are, you do them. That's on you. That's your business. You do them. But if you're having trouble coming up with the things you can't do, I would encourage you to ask yourself this question. What are some of the things that distract me the most? Ask yourself that question. And if it's that, you should probably put it on the list. The next thing I recommend you do is you take that list and then you hang it up somewhere like on a mirror as a daily reminder. So you're seeing that every day so you know what you can and can't do based on your own rules. It's simple. Moving on. The next step is to add friction and lube. Get your minds out the gutter, nasty asses. Golly.
Nigga, you gay.
The human brain is very complex, but at the same time, it's kind of simple once you understand a few things about it. Long story short, our brain is always looking for the least path of resistance, aka it's always looking to take a shortcut. And knowing that information means you need to go ahead and rig that in your favor. So basically, you need to add friction to the things that you don't want to do, and then you need to add lube to the things that you do want to do. Here's what I mean. Let me explain. Again, your brain hates wasting energy. It hates it. So if you add friction to something you don't want to do, it is most likely just going to skip that and do something else. So say if you have a phone addiction, you cannot stay off your phone. You need to make it incredibly hard for yourself to go check your phone. Right here, I'm working in my office. Something that I did was I took my phone. Not only did I take it, I turned my phone off. Then I went, put it in my room, and then I put it in a drawer under a few books. And when I'm back in my office, I've added so much friction. Sometimes I get the urge to want to check my text message when I'm working. But then I look over, I see my phone ain't there. And I'm like, okay, I want to check my text, but I know I got to get up. I know I got to walk all the way over to my room. Then I know once I get in my room, I got to open the drawer. Then I got to lift the book up. Then I got to pick the phone up. Then I got to turn the phone on. You see how I've just added like 19 steps into me checking my text messages? My brain says, all right, no, that's too much. We ain't doing all that. So I'm just gonna stay where I'm at. That's the whole point. You got to add friction to the things you don't want to do and make it harder for you to do them. And then obviously on the opposite end, you need to make the things you do want to do really easy. Now, I will warn you right now, what I'm doing, what I'm about to share with you is not the most cleanly thing, but it works for me. Get off my back.
Oh, God damn, get off that nigga dick, bro.
Anyway, guys, I really hate, and I mean hate, cooking. I hate cooking. I can't stand it. Hate washing dishes, all of it. But anyway, I want to be lean. I want to be a lean, green machine, but I hate cooking. So I know I needed to make that easier for me to do. So now, guys, what I do is I cook, I do my little thing. I go ahead and rinse the dish out, wipe it off, dry it off, and I put the pans right back on the stove. I don't put them in the cabinet. I don't do anything. Now, why do I do that? I put them right back on the stove because I know when I wake up in the morning, the last thing I want to do is fumble around. Where's this pan? Where's that pan? Where's this? Where's that? I don't want to do all that. So when I wake up and I get right there, the pans are right there for me to use to cook my meal. I have just taken steps out of that for me to just get right up and cook. So it is promoting, it is helping me want to actually cook, helping me want to stay on my diet, and helping me in my overall goal, which is losing weight and looking good. It's that simple. So now that we're clear on all that, I want you to go back to the list of rules that you made, the cans and can'ts. Remember, we did that together. Go get that list and write down how you're going to add friction to those things and how you're going to add lube to the other thing. The next step is creating a morning routine. Look, I'm a firm believer in the snowball effect. I'm also a firm believer in momentum. So I always believe that if your day starts off rough, it's usually going to continue being rough. And I don't like that. Nobody wants a rough day. The worst part about that is when your day is going bad, that's usually when you are most likely to fall back into your vices. That's usually when you're most likely to go back into your old habits. And we don't want to do that. So for that reason, I think it's important that you develop a morning routine, preferably one where you don't grab your phone. I just think it sets up a good vibe and a good mood for the day. Guys, but remember, this morning routine should do things that deepen your focus rather than distract you or overstimulate you. Next step is choosing your most important tasks. Look, I know it's no secret that all of us have 1,000 things to do. We all got a lot on our plates. But I think the thing that separates those who are successful and those who aren't is the ones who are successful can easily identify the things that are going to make the most impact on their lives, and then they actually do them. Let me repeat that. They can identify the things that are going to make the most impact on their lives, and then they actually do them.
Do it! Just do it!
But for most people, it's the exact opposite. And it's so funny to me because I would know in the back of my head, like, I know I gotta get this done. This is the most important thing that I need to do. But I would find myself like doing everything else on my to-do list, like doing everything else, making my bed, washing the clothes, cleaning the dog, cooking, everything else besides the one thing I knew I needed to do. Guys, don't fall into the trap like I did. Guys, I recommend every day that you sit down at the beginning of your day and write out the 1 to 3 most important things that you have to do that day. Physically write them out, or you can type them out in your phone. Let's not get specific, but write out 1 to 3 things, 3 of the most important things that you need to do. Trust me, it will help you. Oh, if you're having trouble with this, go ahead and ask yourself this question. If I could only complete one thing today, which one would make the most impact? And once you're able to answer that question, that should give you some clarity on the things that you need to be doing. Bonus tip, you will also notice that the most important tasks, the ones that will make the most impact, are usually the ones that you want to avoid doing. If you get a feeling of, maybe I'll push that one off, that's probably the task you need to be doing. So why don't you just go ahead right now, go ahead and write that down. And finally, the last step is plan your day. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Those who fail to plan to fail. The biggest hurdle, biggest obstacle, whatever you want to call it, that you're going to face is bored and idle time when you're doing a dopamine detox. That's the biggest enemy during a dopamine detox, being bored. Now, I know I'm talking about fitness a lot. I promise I'm really not that into fitness like that, but these are just relevant examples in my life. Lay off me, get off me. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is recently I've lost 40 pounds, right? And one of the biggest struggles I had was I couldn't eat healthy, but I would always be in a point where I would get to where I'm supposed to eat a certain time of the day, and I wouldn't have any food left, or I wouldn't have an idea of what I wanted to cook. Basically, I hadn't made a plan of what I was going to eat. And I found out that anytime I was in that situation, the first thing my brain wanted to do was go back to what it normally does, go back to what was easy. So whenever I didn't know what I was going to eat, whenever I didn't have any food stocked up, the first thing I did was, guess what? I went out and ran to get fast food. That's the first thing I did. Your brain always wants to revert back to what's normal for it. And that's where I was screwing myself. So instead of doing that, I flipped things around. I made sure that every meal was planned out. I made sure I had the things that I was going to be able to cook. And so that when I got there, everything had already been decided. All I needed to do was do the action and get it done. Oh, and another thing I just thought of, another good thing that you could do or add on to this is do time blocking. I don't know, some of y'all may not know what it is, but it's basically you go onto your calendar and you put a time block for something that you want to do. So I would recommend that you guys take that list. Remember, we came up with a list of your 1 to 3 most important things you need to do. Take that list and actually put a time block in your calendar for when you're going to do that. You say, I'm going to do this during this time from 1 to 3. You know what that does? It gives you a visual representation of when you're going to work on that specific goal, but also it gives you, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes you make a commitment. Even if nobody knows about it, you have basically committed to doing that work during that time. Just another level of accountability for you. But it also allows you to focus on that specific task and get it done so you ain't doing everything, because that 2 hours is for that activity. Also, guys, don't be afraid to get creative with these time blocks. Go ahead and schedule your breaks in. I do it. Go ahead and schedule when you're going to work out, when you're going to go lift. Schedule those in. When you can get good at using your calendar and blocking your time, man, you become a productive, efficient I'm not going to cuss. I don't want to get demonetized. Do they still demonetize for that? I'm not sure. I'm not going to cuss anyway, but you become a productive, efficient. I'm telling you. Honestly, guys, all jokes aside, time blocking is one of the most effective things I've ever done, and I highly recommend it. Also, while I was wrapping up this video, I thought of some other things I did during my dopamine detox that really helped me, so I'll just kind of fly through those really quick. One big thing I think you should do is take notes during your dopamine detox. You're gonna be going through a lot of changes. You're gonna be seeing how you react and behave in certain situations, and it's really good to write these things down so you can go back and look at them. Oh, this is how I acted during this. Oh, this is how I acted during that. And if you ever want to make changes to your behavior, if you've got really a log, so I would really practice journaling or just writing down your thoughts. And you're going to be bored as hell anyway, so I would recommend you pick it up. Another thing I recommend you do is take time to reflect on your life. When we are in normal life and not doing dopamine detox, you are normally overstimulated. You got your phone, you got your computer, you got the internet, you got the radio.
Really, nigga?
Not the radio. Nobody listens to the radio. You got iTunes, whatever it is y'all listening to nowadays. You got everything distracting you. And I think there's something that happens when you're able to take a step back and you're not overstimulated, that you can get a clear vision on your life. You can get clarity on where you want to go. So I think while you're doing this, a good thing to do is take that step back. Go ahead and reassess. Look at where you're at in your life and then look at where you want to go. Take time to reflect. That's all I'm saying. Also, two more things. You need to understand that you're going to mess up, okay? There may be a day that you grab your phone. There may be a day that you watch 2 hours of TV. It's going to happen. And the last thing you want to do is beat yourself up because, that doesn't do anything for you. It just doesn't help you. And everyone messes up as long as we're making progress. We're getting 1% better every day. And then the B, you need to make a contingency plan. A contingency plan meaning once you get off of this dopamine detox or dopamine fast, whatever y'all want to call it, you need to have a plan on how you're going to integrate things slowly back into your life, because there can be a tendency, because you've deprived yourself of all of these things for so long, that the moment you get done, you just gonna be on the couch watching Netflix all day because you're like, well, man, I ain't had it in forever. You need to have a plan on how you're gonna handle that afterwards, as well as how you'll handle your mess ups when you do low quality dopamine activities during the detox. That was kind of confusing, but I hope y'all get it. But anyway, guys, that was my tactical guide on how you can successfully go through a dopamine detox or a dopamine fast. As always, I hope y'all found value in this video. And if you did, do me a favor, please go ahead and hit the like, hit the sub, hit the bell, join the gang, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. You know what it is. Your boy Glasses out. Peace.